Thursday, April 6, 1848. We arrived in Independence by steamboat. We're on our way out west to meet our pa in Oregon.
There she goes, back to St. Louis. There's no turning back now.
Yippee! Let's get a wagon and get started.
Oh, Jimmy, Parker, are you sure? It's 2,000 miles to where Pa is, through deserts and mountains.
Yep, and rivers and valleys.
Yeah, and buffaloes and coyotes.
And mountain lions.
And rattlesnakes
and brothers. I'm just as brave as you think you are, but this is no joke.
Quit worrying, Cassie. Pa sent a mountain man to guide us.
And we've got to find him. Come on! Next stop, the Oregon Trail.
You got a rough trip ahead of you, partner, but you can do it. Did you hear that these Montgomery children made it all the way to Oregon City? Their story might be of help to you.
April 6, 1848. When Pa broke his leg and couldn't come back from Oregon to fetch us, Ma gathered us close and said it was her dream to join Pa in Oregon. She believed that we had the gumption to get there with the help of this man, Jed Friedman, that Pa was sending to guide us. Then, Ma died.
Cassie, Parker, come on! We've got to find that mountain man Pa wrote us about.
Jimmy, look out!
Looks like you're in a big hurry, son.
Oh, thank you so much. We're,
Looking for somebody to get you to Oregon, right?
That's right. How did you know?
We're looking for a man named Captain Jed Friedman. Do you know him?
Mm-hmm, sure do.
Do you work for him?
That I do, son. Day and night.
Well then, take us to him.
You're already there, Parker.
Hey, how do you know my name?
Parker, he's Jed.
You?
But you're...
One of your pa's best friends. I saved his life on the trail, and he saved mine. When he broke his leg, I promised him I'd get you to Oregon.
Can you hunt buffaloes and kill rattlesnakes?
Why, sure, if I need to.
Wow!
Well, Mr. Friedman?
Captain Jed.
Captain Jed. I guess if Pa sent you, that's good enough for us.
Then let's get our supplies. There's a long way to go, and your pa's are waiting. Follow me.
Hey, you looking for a wagon train to hook up with? Our train's still in need of a few more wagons. You want to join us? We're planning on leaving soon. We're a large group of good, hard-working folks. I wouldn't even dream of heading out on the trail alone, or even with any fewer than 10 wagons. The more people you go with, the greater your chances of survival, and that's the gospel truth.
You decided yet which kind of draft animals you're going to use to pull your wagon? Well, you can pick oxen, mules, or horses. There's advantages and disadvantages to each. Oxen are cheap and strong, but prone to sickness. Mules cost more, but they's less likely to get sick. They can be stubborn, too. Horses are faster, but weaker. The other downside is they cost a lot, require feed grain, and are attractive to thieves. Well, since you ask, I'd go with oxen. The price is right, and you can't beat 'em for strength. They ain't too bright, but they's good old beasts. Besides, if you get into real dire straits, you can always eat 'em.
The merchants here in town offer basic packages of supplies based on the size of one's party and estimated length of journey. Of course, you can shop around on your own or add to the basic set. So, which package would you like?
Ain't this exciting? All these folks bustling about, getting ready to strike out on the trail. Just speaking for myself, I can't wait. I've spent pretty near all my life so far cooped up in my parents' home back east. But I just got married 4 weeks ago, and now my husband and I are heading out to make a new life for ourselves. I hear disease is the biggest danger on the trail. You gotta stay healthy, eat right, don't push yourself too hard, and get rest when you're sick. And be careful at rivers. Rivers kill almost as many people as disease, but I'm sure we'll do all right.
Good day to you, friend. I'm new here in town. I'm making ready to head out on the trail west. Ah, so you're doing the same. Well, maybe we can link up with the same wagon train. I wouldn't start out with less than, say, 400 pounds of food per person. Of course, how much you can take depends on how big your wagon is and how many draft animals you got.
Hello, friend. Say, has your wagon train formed yet? And have you met to form the council that'll provide guidance and governance on your long journey? The bylaws and regulations drawn up by your self-elected council will be your only law on the trail. You got to keep out the bad element and make arrangements for settling disputes. I have here a complete and elegantly scripted constitution, suited to all upright citizens. Drew it up myself. I had a year in law school, you know. If you let me join your wagon train, I'll be glad to offer this here constitution to you free of charge.
Howdy! Looks like you're heading west too, like me. Me and my brother are gonna start a farm out west. I hear there's land aplenty, and no better soil this side of the Ohio Valley. I hear the best time to start out on the trail is in April, but I reckon there's different opinions about that. Well, best of luck to you.
Hi there.
I see you're fixin' to head out west, too. My husband's all rarin' to go, but I must say I have my apprehensions. I hear terrible stories about vast deserts, wild animals, disease, and Indian attacks. We got ourselves a good life here in the East, and I don't see why we have to uproot ourselves now. Well, if you must go, I guess I should say if we must go, I'd suggest making sure we have strong, healthy animals and a good, sturdy wagon with spare parts. Our lives will depend on 'em.
Hi there.
You bought all your supplies yet? You know, some folks forget about some important items. that might prove right useful out on the trail. Just about everybody buys food, extra clothes, guns, ammunition, and spare wagon parts. But there's some other things you might want to take as well. Well, I wouldn't go without a good long rope or chain, which can help in crossing rivers or going up and down steep hills.
You heading out west? So am I. In fact, this will be my second trip out on the trail. I traveled out to the Oregon country 3 years ago. Liked it a lot, so I decided to come back east, round out some of my relatives, and take them all back to Oregon with me. Find yourself a good wagon train. That's the prime thing. Keep moving and don't take no cutoffs. Stick to the main trail and you'll be okay.
Hello.
Howdy, stranger. It looks like you're fixing to head out west, too. Fine opportunity for people with the gumption to do it. We brought a few personal items with us, but we're hoping to buy our foodstuffs and fresh animals here. But I ain't too sure exactly where to go first. Don't devote any great portion of time to packing your wagon till you bring in all your supplies. We're planning to pack up the wagon whilst we're waiting for the train to assemble.
Hello, friend. Say, has your wagon train formed yet?
You bought everything you need yet? We probably don't have much more time before we have to start heading out on the trail. I've been shopping around comparing prices. Now and then you find a good deal, but dad blame it if I don't think these merchants here have gotten together and worked things out so's they keep the prices high. Buy your provisions now while you can. Any stores or trading posts we come across on the trail ain't likely to have as good a selection as here. And if you think the prices here are bad, whoo-wee, I hear they's 2-3 times higher out west. Say, you're one of them folks from that wagon train there, ain't you? Where are all you people coming from? I'm trying to get word of my cousin who's supposed to be out on the trail. He came out of Kentucky and was traveling with 2 young'uns. His name's Brown, Elisha Brown. I'd like to tell him about a sadness in his family that happened just a week after he left. Send what mail you can to your family as you travel. Forts are a good place for it. Ain't much else we can do 'cept keep asking if someone's seen our people along the way.
Captain Jed, how did the Oregon Trail get started? Were you the first one to go on it?
No, Jimmy, I ain't quite that old. There was lots of folks before me. I guess it really started about 1821 with the Santa Fe Trail. That year, a red-headed Virginian named William Becknell started taking trade goods from Missouri to the town of Santa Fe. That's down south of here in Mexico territory, west of Texas. Traders could get flour, salt, horses, and mules cheap in Mexico. Men were getting rich going back and forth from Mexico to Missouri. That is until the war started with Mexico in 1846. Now, the original starting point of the Santa Fe Trail was the town of Franklin, Missouri, on the north bank of the Missouri River.
That's so boats could bring the trade goods, I betcha.
Right you are, Parker. But by the early 30s, the steamboats could go further upriver. So they needed another starting point that was further west. And that's how the town of Independence got going.
Hey, we came to Independence on a steamboat from St. Louis.
You sure did.
Tell us about traveling to Oregon with Pa.
Well now, in 1836, the Whitmans, Dr. Marcus and his wife and friends, drove the first wagon to Oregon. They set up a mission north on the Columbia River. A couple of real brave women were in that group, Narcissa Whitman and Eliza Spaulding. More folks started traveling the Oregon Trail after that. I led my first wagon train in '43, the one with your pa in it. We even met the Whitmans when we stopped at their mission.
Did Pa meet him too?
Yep, and it won't be long till you'll be meeting your pa again. Now you better get some sleep, because we got a long day tomorrow.
No, more stories.
Don't worry, Jimmy. I got lots of them.
Say, you're one of them folks from that wagon train there, ain't you? Where are all you people coming from?
Buenos dias.
Howdy, friend. Name's Nicholas J. Tillman, though my friends call me Nick. I see we'll be traveling to the new land together. I hope you're not listening to those worrywarts who say you need a half dozen or more draft animals or tons of food. 2 oxen are aplenty, and you can get all the food you need by hunting. This trip will be a cinch, not a care in the world. Heck, I traveled all the way from New York City to Charleston, South Carolina once, and there was nothing to it.
friend. Name's Nicholas J. Tillman, though my friends...
Glory be, more immigrants. There seems to be more you folks heading west every day.
Say, you're one of them folks from that wagon train.
Let's move on.
I heard you found a rockhead alcove engraved with the name of J.F. Reed, May 26, 1846?
Did you know him?
Well, not exactly. I heard of him, though. He and his family were heading to California with the Donner Party. They decided to take the Hastings Cutoff and ended up in a heap of trouble.
The Donner Party? I heard that name at the campfire last night. What happened?
The way I heard it, the Donners and several other families left Independence in April 1846 with 20 wagons and near 100 folks. You should have seen one of their wagons, a double-decker with a side entrance. It had spring seats, a sheet iron stove, and a whole library of books. Some folks called it the Pioneer Palace. Rain and floods kept them an extra 5 days at the Big Blue. Then, when they got to Fort Bridget, instead of playing it safe and heading to Fort Hall, some of them took the Hastings Cutoff.
Why'd they do that?
Hastings' guidebook claimed it would save them time in about 300 miles. But crossing the Wasatch Mountains was slow. Took 18 days to get 30 miles. Had to ditch that big old Pioneer Palace in the Salt Lake Desert. By the time they got to the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, it was October, and they got caught in an early snowfall.
They must have been plumb tired and starving.
That's right, Cassie. And freezing, too. It was about the worst winter you could imagine. They did things to keep alive that I can't rightly talk about.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that they even...
That's enough, Jimmy.
Some snowshoed out in December, but by the time the relief parties brought the rest out in April of '47, only half of them were left.
Half died? That's sorrowful.
So that means we've got to take the right trails and get to Oregon before the snow falls. Right, Captain Jed?
Right you are, son. It's life and death out here. The Oregon Trail ain't no picnic.
Ha! More dad-blamed fools out in the middle of nowhere. Watch your tongue, friend. Sometimes it don't pay to talk smart to the wrong party. Watch your step. Not everyone's as forgiving as me. Why don't you folks just move along now?
Tuesday, May 2nd. We passed through the Narrows today. The trail follows a very narrow path between the Little Blue River on the left and steep bluffs on the right. We'd circled the wagons and I was fixing supper when...
Hey, that almost smells good.
Oh, well, sakes alive. Go wash up. It's almost ready. Where's Jimmy?
Probably wandered off with the journal, drawing things like he always does.
That Jimmy. He's hankering to show Pa his sketches when we get to Oregon.
Jimmy! Over here! I found a snake!
Jimmy! Lie still. Jed's coming.
Cassie, it hurts!
Hurry, no time to lose.
Here, my belt.
Tie it on, Parker. Not too tight now.
What's he doing?
Grip this rock, Jimmy. Jed's gotta open the bite and suck out the poison.
Ah! Jimmy'll make it. Won't he, Jed?
I reckon he'll need to ride in the wagon for a spell, but he'll pull through all right.
Oh, thank you, Jed.
But it was close. Too close.
I drew the snake before it bit me. You want to see it?
I'm Isabella. I'm traveling with the Raleighs and their people. My job is to keep after the cows and watch the children. My husband Fred is the ox driver. Best there is. I was born in Delaware. My father used to tell me stories of Africa and promise one day we'd find ourselves going home. But I don't know if I'm getting closer or farther away with all this walking. Keep a good eye on those animals of yours and don't let them get too overtired. A dead animal's no good to nobody except maybe the butcher. And out here in this awful place, I'd rather be moving than eating.
I think it's time we be moving on now.
Fine scenery round these parts.
I think it's time we be moving on now.
I think we ought to stop for a couple of days. When people are all tuckered out, they tend to get sick, like this.
Thursday, June 1st. Today I saw my first Indian. Several braves rode into our camp to trade. I was scared at first, but Captain Jed said we'd be fine if we traded fairly with them. When they were done, Jimmy and I went walking along the river. More Indians! Jimmy, look! The baby! Get away!
You did it, Cassie! You saved the baby! Where do you learn to throw like that?
I've been throwing rocks across the Big Blue while you were laid up with your snake bite. I'll keep this with Ma's necklace. It's beautiful. There's so many beads. I can't wait to show it to Pa.
Hello.
How you doing?
At every fort or trading post along the trail, prices have been higher than at the previous place. This is outrageous. They're taking advantage of us. If I had the chance to do it all over again, I'd buy more supplies at the beginning of our journey. Well, we might as well get what we need right here. Goodness knows it'll probably be even more expensive further down the road.
Hey, what say you we have ourselves a wingding tonight? It's been a good long time since we've had a regular fandango. You know what they say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And we sure have been working hard out on the trail, haven't we? We should take it easy more, enjoy ourselves. I'm gonna go and see some of the others and see if they don't feel the same way.
Howdy. I'm one of the regulars here at the fort. I'm here for the adventure and the steady pay. The conditions is tolerable, and I can send a bit of money home to my ma. I've been here since last spring. Before that, I was part of a troop down by Santa Fe. We travel out most days, checking the area and calling on the immigrants. You might take advantage of this place to rest a while and build up your strength for the next part of your journey. And maybe you wouldn't mind sharing a bit of your home cooking with the poor feller? I've a mighty longin' for my sweet mama's fine victuals.
This might be a good place to rest a while. Just what I said. We've done enough traveling for the time being. It won't hurt to stop for a day or two. Yeah, listen to what I'm saying. Let's stop here to rest.
I wouldn't want to have to cross this river any more than I have to, especially with the trail as rough as it is around here.
Which way is west?
I wouldn't want to have to cross this river any more than I have to.
Anybody here ever heard of a fella called Old Gabe?
Is he a trapper friend of yours?
He's a lot more than that, I'll tell you. If you roam the Rocky Mountains trapping like me, you might run into some great mountain men. Joe Meek, Jim Beckworth, Joe Walker, or Major Moses Black Harris. But Old Gabe really stands out. Tall, strong, with long hair and a hooked nose. Named after the angel Gabriel he was. Knows every inch of this land and the rivers too. Some folks say he was the first white man to see the Great Salt Lake. Thought it was the ocean, it was so salty.
There really is a salt lake out here?
Never seen it, but I heard it's there. Now most Indians respect Old Gabe for his toughness and bravery. He even married an Indian woman from Flatheads. But Gabe's got his enemies though. I heard Dr. Whitman once had to take an arrow out of his back.
Captain Jed, is he still alive?
I believe so, but he's had many a close call. One day, Old Gabe and a group of trapper friends came across large grizzly tracks in front of a mountain cave. They were so hungry that one of the trappers suggested that somebody go in the cave and drive the bear out so they could have a real meal. So Old Gabe volunteered to go in that cave and send that old grizz out.
He must have been crazy.
Don't know about that, but I do know he walked right in that cave and struck the bear with his whipping stick. That grizzly made a run for the opening, but then turned right around and headed straight for Gabe. It was dark in the cave and not easy to see, but Old Gabe was ready for him. Trappers outside heard a shot, and sure enough, they had bear for dinner that night.
I want to meet old Gabe.
You just may. He built a fort on the Oregon Trail. His real name is Bridger, Jim Bridger. Fort Hall is just a ways up the trail, along the Snake River.
Have you ever been there, Captain Jed?
Many times. Been coming to this spot for years, way before old Nathaniel Wyeth even built a fort here. Yep. Brings to mind the very first rendezvous. Of course, we called them rondes back in 1825. We met near here, at the junction of Henry's Fork and the Green River. Beaver was aplenty, prices high, and no one much bothered us at all. It was Ashley's idea. He didn't want to have to travel so far to trade. One year, he lost a keelboat, sank with $10,000 worth of furs and supplies. Next year, he had trouble with the Arikara Indians, so he spread the word about a central meeting place to trade and called it a rendezvous. That's French, you know. Trappers came from all over.
Indians too?
You bet. We traded with the Indians for furs, blankets, and other supplies. Many a trapper even traded for an Indian wife.
Really?
That's right, Cassie. I was once married to a Shoshone Indian, but that's another tale. The Ronde in 1826 was held around July 4th. You never heard such a ruckus. Guns a-firing, horse racing, gambling, sharpshooting contests, wrestling, and I'd say many a patriotic toast.
Wish I could have been there.
But those days are gone now. Last Ronde I heard of was in 1840. I miss meeting with trapper friends, old Jed Smith, Grizzly Adams and his trained bear, and of course, Moses Black Harris, best yarn spinner I ever heard. With more and more folks heading west and needing expert guides, seemed the perfect fit for us trappers.
So you became a captain and led our pa out west.
Sure did. Best decision I ever made. Great man, your pa.
Hello, I'm Sophie Billings. Now, will you take a look at that? All those people carving their names in the rock out here in the middle of nowhere. Don't think we've had much of a chance to talk. My husband and I are from right outside Memphis, Tennessee. Free black folks aren't any too welcome there right now. That's why we're going west. My brother Gordon, he went out to Oregon last year. Wrote and told me about some people in his wagon train whose animals all died after drinking some bad water. I'd be real careful about that if I were you.
I reckon there's not much we can do until the waters die down.
Let's move on.
Trail splits just up ahead for those going to California. I got a feeling a lot of folks will be heading that way soon.
How come, Captain Jed?
I heard a rumor at Laramie about someone finding a river of gold nuggets in California. Is that why?
Shh, Parker, not so loud. Seems that in January of this year, 1848, a fella named James Marshall did find some gold nuggets just lying out in plain sight in the American River.
Wow!
He was partners with a man named John Sutter, was building a sawmill in California. Well, old man Sutter knew what would happen if word about the gold got out, so he tried to keep everything quiet.
They found gold just lying in a stream? Seems awful hard to keep something like that a secret.
Yep, seems a newspaper man, Sam Brennan, got wind of it. And you know what that means. The word started to spread like wildfire.
What's gonna happen?
Well, I don't know for sure, but it's pretty easy to guess. There's gonna be a lot more folks heading west, I tell you. They'll be coming from all over and in all kinds of ways.
By wagon, train, or ship mostly. Do you think they could ever build a railroad across these mountains?
Don't know much about railroads, but I'd say some people do just about anything for gold. It kind of makes them crazy, you know? There's gonna be a lot of changes out west. You folks are just the beginning.
Wait a minute. Just let me finish writing this in my diary. There. You know, I don't know what we'd do if it weren't for these forts along the way. It sure is a comfort to me knowing that, even way out here in the wilderness, every now and then there's a place where we can relax a spell. I vote we stay here a couple days and rest up. It won't do any of us no good if we exhaust ourselves.
Howdy. I'm one of the regulars here at the fort. I'm here for the adventure and the steady pay. The conditions is tolerable.
Bonjour.
How's doing, friends? You must belong to that wagon train that just pulled in. I'm a scout round about these parts. I hire myself out to the army, wagon train surveyors, just about anyone in need of my services. Sorry I can't help you folks right now. I got me a contract and I'm sticking to it. Rest up here for a day or two and restock your supplies. But don't waste too much time. You'd best be heading on your way soon to beat the snows.
I hear there's mountain sheep around here. Enough water, too, but hardly a stick of wood. Thank heaven for Fort Hall. I'm really sorry that soon we'll be saying goodbye to Cousin Miles and all the folks heading for California. I'm going to spend as much time as I can with my friends and relations till we reach the California road. You consider doing the same. Might not ever see them again.
Hello. Howdy.
Captain Jed, did you ever have a scruff with the Indians?
A few close calls.
Tell us about them, will ya? What are Indians really like?
First thing you need to know, Jimmy, is that no two people are alike. You've met folks on the trail from Mexico and Ireland. They speak different languages, have different customs, and, well, that goes for Indians too.
Folks traveling with us are afeard of them. Why aren't you scared?
Trapping, I learned a lot from the Arapaho, Blackfoot, Shoshone, Cheyenne, and Sioux. They're all skilled horsemen and hunters. They live in teepees and move with the buffalo herds. Watching them hunt buffalo, now that was something. They'd set fire to the grass and then drive those critters right off a cliff. Once the kills were made, nothing would go to waste. Favorite parts were the tongues and livers.
Ew!
Then there's the Arikara, Pawnee, and Mandan. They spend part of the year hunting buffalo, but the other part in villages growing crops. The Arikara raised 9 different types of corn.
Tarnation, they're farmers just like Pa.
That's right. Indian villages I've seen aren't just teepees. They have homes made of reeds and woven mats, earth, or logs. Once, I traveled south and ran into some Hopi Indians. Lived for a spell in a pueblo. That's a house made of mud and rocks.
Sakes alive, Captain Jed. The Whitmans were killed by the Cayuse Indians last year. Weren't you ever scared of Indians?
I met Dr. Marcus Whitman and his wife. Good folk they were. The Cayuse Indian blamed them for a bout of measles killing their people. Indians want to protect their own just like we do. And if you let them be, they'll do the same for you. They're not all that different from us. You played one of their games back at Fort Laramie.
Hoop and pole! Will you teach us more, Captain Jed?
Better yet, let them teach you more. Folks shouldn't be so afraid of them. They've lived on this land for hundreds of years. There's a lot we can learn from each other.
Time is a-wasting. Let's get out.
looking to do some trading? Trading is one of the main things people do out here at forts. Why, it's pert near a form of entertainment for some souls. Keep a sharp eye out on your supplies and your money. There's some unscrupulous types around here that wouldn't mind relieving you of some of your possessions.
It always pleases me to see more people moving out west. This'll be a great and grand country someday, you know. Why, expanding the horizons of civilization out here in the wilderness just thrills me to the bone to think on it. Don't be led astray by anyone or anything promising shortcuts or quick fixes. They ain't any. Stay on the main trail and work hard. That's the only sure path.
Every fort or trading post along the trail, prices have been higher than at the previous place. This is outrageous. They're taking advantage of us. If I had the chance to do it all over again, I'd buy more supplies at the beginning of our journey. Well, we might as well get what we need right here. Goodness knows it'll probably be even more expensive further down the road.
Looks like as good a place as any to lay by a day and put up some fresh supplies. One of my oxen commenced a favoring a leg yesterday. I'd like the smithy here to take a look at the shoe. If in what I hear is true, this may be the last place we'll find a bit of civilized company for a good long while. Besides, I'm all worn out and could use the rest. My druthers would be to rest here a day or two. No more than that, so's we can stock up on what we need.
Welcome, folks. Pleased to meet you. Sorry we can't boast much in the way of accommodations. The few quarters here ain't a heap much bigger than a monk's cell. We'd be mighty appreciative of a bit of entertainment in the evening. Most travelers come around to share a bit of news, and there's always somebody who can tell a good tale. You could try that bit of level ground just over yonder for camping.
Hey, what say you we have ourselves a wingding tonight?
Saturday, October 21st. We're in mountain country now. Taking the wagons up the hills is really hard, but it's even more dangerous taking them down.
Okay, men, the ropes are set. Parker, you go on the far side there and try to keep her from tipping over.
Right, Captain Jed.
Be careful, son. Let's go. Easy does it.
Look out! It's tipping over!
No! No!
Run, Parker! You'll be killed!
No! We can't lose the wagon. Get a rope! Get a rope!
You heard what he said. Hurry!
That's it! We got it!
Parker, you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
That was mighty brave, son.
I couldn't let her go. That wagon has everything we own. All that we've got left of Ma. Her pictures and her wedding dress.
Your pa would have been real proud of you.
Thanks, Captain Jed. Thanks.
Welcome to the mission. We're so pleased to see you. I'm Narcissa Whitman, wife of the doctor. This is our Methodist mission to the local Indians, where we instruct them in the faith and tend to their illnesses. Please stay a while. If you have any sick among you, bring them on in. We also have food and some supplies to help you on your way.
Howdy.
Every fought a trading post along the trail. Prices have been...
Looks like as good a place as any to lay by a day and put up some fresh supplies. One of my oxen commenced to...
Howdy. I'm one of the regulars here at the fort. I'm here for the adventure and the steady... Before that, I was part of a troop down by Santa Fe. We travel out most...
I declare, I'm sure glad we made it to this here fort. It ain't exactly civilization, but it's the best we seen in a good long time. I'm going to see what kind of supplies they have over here in this store or trading post. I hear some of these frontier forts have plenty of provisions, while others ain't got much more than salt pork and rancid flour. If I was you, I'd check my supplies and see if there's anything I need before even thinking about moving on.
Every thought taking advantage of us.
Hello! Hello!
We're ready to go rafting down the river.
We mustn't take any chances on early winter snows. Let's be on our way.
Let's head for the rapids. Sure, it's dangerous, but it'll be fun.
Let's keep going.
doing, friends? You must belong to that wagon train that just pulled in. I'm a scout round about these parts. I hire my... How's doing, friends? I'm a scout round about these parts.
I hope you don't mind me saying that I've had just about enough of this journey. I've a good mind to stay right here, at least for a week or two, and then turn around and head back home. I've never experienced such troubles as I have on this trail. I figure I'm lucky to still be alive. Only trouble is, if I were to decide to go back, I don't know if I could find anyone to go with me. And I'm not about to travel by myself. Oh, I suppose we should just get on with it. We can rest here a short while, but then let's get going. The sooner we leave, the sooner I can put this part of my life behind me.
Hey, what say you we have ourselves a wingding tonight? You It's know been what a they good say, long time since all work and no...
This might be a good place to rest a while. Just what I said. We've done enough traveling for the time being.
Wednesday, October 25th. We're about to see Pa. Oh, I'm so nervous. It's been 4 years. Will we recognize him? Will he recognize us?
Come on, Jenny, into the barn. It's getting cold. Looks like winter's gonna be early this year. If the kids don't make it soon, Jenny, they're gonna get trapped in that snow. I just don't... Who's there?
Good to see you again, Mr. Montgomery.
Jed? Jed! You made it! Do you have the... Parker? Cassie? Jimmy?
Hello, Pa.
Welcome home.
Pa!
Pa!
Pa! made it, Pa! There were deserts and mountains and Indians and buffaloes, and I got bit by a snake, and I made a picture of it.
And Cassie rescued an Indian woman's baby.
And Parker saved the wagon from crashing down a hill.
You made it! You did it!
You mean Captain Jed did it?
Safe and sound, just like you said.
Jed, I knew you could do it. Thank you. Thank you with all my heart.
You got some real brave pioneers here. And do they have some stories to tell? Stories about the Oregon Trail.